first evening here with my Czech silver gold list. Here, just in this nice, it's like a kind of balcony up, raised up from the street down there. Interesting street ahead, and behind going down there, that's Triq Gort. Gort Street or whatever, I don't know what Gort means. Might mean something very common or everyday for all I know. It just sounds, Triq Gort sounds interesting. You can watch the world go by down there from a vantage point. And you basically got a glass thing in a paper bag, or candle in a paper bag. That's interesting. These interesting umbrellas up there. Some time ago, I finished and asked for the bill. I got the bill and laid this note out, but the guy seems to be in no hurry to come and collect it, and already I've done as much as I want to do here, and I'm kind of in the kind of mood where thinking, am I going to spend the rest of my life here in this strange position, which is what got me thinking, well, probably not. All these things do come to an end. In the end, the guy comes out and collects his money, and it's over. But just to help it to stick in mind, because it wouldn't be the worst place to actually have to sit and spend a long time, waiting, because it is quite an interesting place, quite an atmospheric place. Just people going past every few minutes, just doing their thing. And so I just thought I'd film it a little bit, just to help me remember it really forever, and to share it with the loyal viewers. The windows are quite interesting here, and there's I don't know if you can see it much, but you can see the building's old. It's interesting how the mortar looks on the walls. I was just thinking where Malta is, it's a little bit between two continents, between Africa and Europe, and I'm surprised, as you go north of here, you've got Sicily. That's volcanic because it's on the fault line, and I sometimes wonder whether it's strange that Malta doesn't have anything, going on like that. Maybe it's just too small or something, but the way that these old buildings look and the way they overhang the places outside with people eating, it'd be a terrible place to be if there was an earthquake, if ever there was a bit of a jolt along the fault line dividing Europe and Africa. This is really the middle of the Mediterranean. The Mediterranean itself meant the middle of the earth, of course, means the middle of the earth in Latin, because it was seen as the middle of the earth from the Roman or the Greco-Roman point of view. Obviously the Chinese also saw themselves as the Middle Kingdom, so they called themselves the Triq Gort, which is Middle Kingdom, and the same as what the Romans called the Mediterranean Sea. They both saw both of those cultures, those ancient cultures that I've said before are the most important ones in the history of humanity, the Han culture and the Greco-Roman culture. Both of those cultures have been, if you like, seeing themselves in the same way. That's the middle of what's going on in the world, because of course, as far as they were concerned, they were in each case. They had nothing to make them believe otherwise. They didn't have much to do with each other, of course, until Marco Polo. And strangely, it's always us reaching out to their territory, never really much of them reaching out to us. I mean, obviously people have come from the east, but it's also been the same people that have attacked the Chinese base as well, like the Huns, and Genghis Khan, all of that, the Tatars. They were the same threat to both Europe and to China, but they weren't a high culture, they were just barbarians effectively. So although they managed to attack both cultures, they didn't really add much, and in the end they got subsumed into these higher cultures. Anyway, why did I start talking about that? Yeah, because it's really the middle of Malta is really the middle of the Mediterranean, so in a sense this is very central, a very central part of the world. And if you look at Maltese language, you've got all sorts of interesting things going on. Obviously, right now you've got a lot of English going on anyway. But in Maltese, you've got aspects of French, Italian, Arabic. You've got all sorts of things going on in it, all blended together in quite a charming way. And although, I couldn't really justify. I'm not such a pure linguist to be able to justify spending time on seriously learning a language with only 400,000 speakers. If I was going to do that, it would have to be a Celtic one because that would be my own roots, But to spend a lot of time on Maltese wouldn't be sensible. But just those few words that I've learned shows it's an interesting language. It's certainly worthy of protection and certainly for people with an interest in Semitic languages to develop it. Okay, here comes my chap, hopefully. Signor, I changed my mind. I like one more Kinnie.
All right.
And then just give me 30 back at the end.
All
Okay,
right.
thank you. Kinnie is this interesting drink. I'll show you in a minute when it appears. It's only made on Malta. We talked about it. I don't know if I've included that in the series, but I was filming at reception when I checked in, and the welcome drink in the hotel was also a Kinnie. It's like a kind of spicy, herby, spicy kind of fizzy drink. Effectively, I think it's slightly fizzy. It's like a lemonade with roots and spices in it. With like a kind of root beer. I think the closest thing that I've had is actually the Czech kofola, but that isn't exactly kofola. It's like kofola meets root beer. If you wanted to make Kinnie, homemade Kinnie, I think you'd get some Czech kofola, get some McDonald's root beer, and sort of pour them together, and then add a bit of lemon on top. Quite a lot of lemon on top, I think, and then you'd have something a little bit approaching Kinnie. The person in the reception said that Kinnie is a Maltese delicacy, and that its exact composition is a closely guarded secret. Malta's an amazing place. I mean, just what I get of it so far is a real blend of different things. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Second remove.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. Okay. So that's what the Kinnie looks like. Sort of brownish colour. There's me drinking it. Seems to have a slightly malty. It's putting the malt back into malty, That's the thing which it's got that isn't in either the kofola or the root beer. I think if you considered Vita Malts, the German Vita Malts, put kofola on that, put Sprite on that to get a real lemonishness on it, and put root beer on the top. Mix them all with probably Vita Malts being a third of the mix, and then the other things being a third of the remaining 2/3 each. That will give you the idea of the flavour that this has. Which is quite nice, actually. It's all blends together quite well, and it's distinctive. But malt hits you, and the lemon comes in after. So There may be a slight fermentation process having gone on in it, but not much. There you go. That's a little 10 minutes, my last 10 minutes hopefully. Because now that I've done that, then when I've drunk this I shall simply go, I won't have to wait anymore. And it's really nice actually. This is the top of Triq Gort in St Julian's, an area of Malta.